Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm trying to get as many videos done tonight as I can because it's been quite a week and I want to talk to you about what has happened. So obviously it's been an incredibly traumatic and difficult week for all of us, for the entire nation in the US. And we're all reeling and we're all horrified by the death of George Floyd. And the entire nation is in turmoil. And to top that off, for myself personally, I have been repeatedly targeted and defamed in the fake news press and on Twitter. I've been repeatedly viciously mobbed on Twitter. The Washington Post and the LA Times have been publishing what amount to death threats against me from Michael Harriot of The Root and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, shockingly. And how am I responding to this? Not well. I've been intermittently suicidal. I'm doing everything I possibly can to stay calm and strong and brave, and I've just been relying upon God and my guardian angel brothers, and I just know that I'm on a God-given and guided path, and that I'm meant to endure and survive this hellish nightmare because I'm meant to make positive changes in the world. I know that, and I know I have to stay strong. And I just can't quite believe that this is my life now. I am a lifelong human and civil rights and anti-racism activist. This is very well documented. It's unequivocal. And I feel like I woke up in a hellish nightmare of a Twilight Zone episode in an alternate universe. And in this universe, I'm apparently a genocidal villain who lynches black students at Yale. So yeah, I'm just basically just trying to hang on for dear life, and I really need this hellish nightmare to end already. So what I want to talk about in this video is Joy Reid and MSNBC and NBC News. So now they were major players in the global vilification and defamation campaign against me after the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale, of which I am the entirely innocent victim. And they basically have never let up in terms of defaming me and endangering my life and destroying my academic and legal, human, and civil rights careers. So, just so everyone knows, Joy Reid and MSNBC and NBC News, they don't care about black people, and they don't care about racism, and they don't care about police brutality. How do I know this? Because instead of actually spending their time addressing racism and police brutality, Joy Reid on MSNBC and NBC News has not only spent the past over 2 years since the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale, targeting vulnerable white women and pushing obvious race and hate crime hoaxes like Not Being While Black at Yale onto the public for moral outrage, industry, profit, and gain, thereby destroying the Living While Black movement. And what did Joy Reid decide was a good way to spend her time this week in the wake of George Floyd's horrifying death? Oh, she thought it would be a good way to spend her time to exploit his death. Joy Reid thought it was a good idea to spend her time this week exploiting George Floyd's death by pushing obvious race and hate crime hoaxes, including Not Being While Black at Yale, targeting vulnerable white women for moral outrage, industry, profit, and gain, and as collective punishment for Trump's election, thereby destroying destroying the Living While Black movement. That's how Joy Reid thought that was a good way for her to spend her time this week in the wake of George Floyd's death, was to exploit his death for moral outrage, industry profit, and gain at the cost of an innocent civil rights activist's life, mine. She is disgusting. She is evil. She is a bigot. She is a liar. She is a fake news liar. She should be ashamed of herself. She should apologize to me immediately and repeatedly. So then Joy Reid had the nerve, had the gall, had the temerity to go on MSNBC and to make a plea for the police and white people to stop trying to kill them, black people, including her, Joy Reid. She said, just stop killing us. Just stop trying to kill us. Okay, well, you know what? I have a plea to make of Joy Reid and MSNBC and NBC News. Just stop trying to kill me. Just stop trying to kill me. Can I live? Can I live? Could you maybe try to Google someone's name before you set out to destroy their life and try to get them killed? If you had bothered to Google my name, which is not at all common, my surname, you would have known that I'm a lifelong human and civil rights activist and licensed attorney and anti-racism activist, and that I would never in a million years perpetrate a racist action, and that I had risked my career and been socially ostracized from the philosophy department by most of the other graduate students for trying to get a black man hired as a professor at Yale, for fighting for a black man to have access to the so-called white space of Yale, for fighting for his federal civil rights, his religious expression rights, an evangelical black man at Yale. Do you know what I did with my JD? Joy Reid, do you want to know what I did with my JD? I moved to France, and I sat for days in government offices in Paris with African immigrant women and their children to protect them and to make sure that they wouldn't be discriminated against during the visa application process. I could have taken my JD, I could have gotten a huge payday at a law firm in New York City or wherever, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people, and I specifically wanted to help people and communities of color. You are evil, Joy Reid. You are straight up evil. You are straight up evil. And I have a plea for you. Stop trying to kill me. Stop trying to kill me. And why don't you start addressing racism and police brutality instead of targeting vulnerable white women and pushing obvious race and hate crime hoaxes like napping while black at Yale for moral outrage, industry profit, and gain, because it's a cheaper way to make an easy buck. Because it's a cheaper way to make an easy buck. You don't actually care about racism. You don't actually care about police brutality. You don't actually care about black people, because if you did, you wouldn't be spending the wake of George Floyd's horrific death, his horrific killing. You wouldn't be spending this week in the wake of his horrific killing targeting vulnerable white women and pushing race and hate crime hoaxes, destroying the Living While Black movement, because it's an easier way for you to make a cheap buck. You are disgusting. You disgust me. You are vile. You are evil. You are despicable. You are horrible. You are horrid. Stop trying to kill me. Stop trying to kill me. And I want everyone to know that NBC News partially blamed me for the shooting of Stephanie Washington in April 2019, even though I hadn't been at Yale for a year. Stop trying to kill me, NBC News. Stop trying to kill me, MSNBC. Stop trying to kill me. Okay, I'm sorry, I got a little upset. I've been intermittently suicidal all week, so I'm a little upset. And I just want to tell you all that I love you all so much for your support and your kind words. They mean everything to me. We're going to get through this moment of cultural insanity. We're going to restore due process at Yale and on campuses across the U.S. and everywhere. Please support me. Please support me. I will have my PayPal, me, and GoFundMe links below. Support me so that I can sue Comcast, so that I can sue MSNBC, so that I can sue Joy Reid, so that I can sue NBC News, so that I can sue the entire moral outrage industry, and so that I can sue Yale. Please support me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and share. It means so much to me. I love you all so much. Everybody take care of yourselves, okay? Be kind to one another and take care of yourselves. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.